Hi fellow colorists, so we're gonna do this Rita Berman giraffe, this beautiful giraffe in Prismacolors, and I'm gonna, as always, take you through the whole thought process. So I haven't even thought about how I'm gonna colour it or anything, so I'm looking at the picture now, and there's a lot of leaves in there. Obviously giraffes are sort of yellowy brown, so I'm going to do lots of kind of warmer yellows, probably browns and reds and things, probably quite a rainbow coloured face, because that's what I tend to do. So therefore the background, I'm thinking blues and greens maybe. Obviously there's a lot of leaves here, but leaves don't have to be green, but yeah, there'll be, you know, some greens and maybe some reds and purples and things around there. So I always start with the background first, and what I tend to do is to get the backgrounds, I'll pick, say let's go blues first, so I will pick sort of 4 to 5 blues going from light to dark. Let's pick that one and let's pick that one, right? So sort of almost at random really. I'll put all the, well, hopefully at the start of this video you'll have seen the colours anyway. So I've just gone from a very dark blue, maybe like that, through to a light blue. Literally just pick those at random there. I'll do the same with a turquoise set. So for the turquoise, let's go that one. That one, probably just 4. Looking here, there's a 4 that go well together. So, sorry, that was a door closing then. Turquoise ones, I will do those. Again, I'll write them down. So that's blues and turquoise. And then just maybe a slight bit of light kind of greeny kind of colour. So, but I want to keep it quite light because this is a background. So I will go green. I'll go those 4. So I'll just pick those 4 as well. So there we go. So they're the 3 lots of different kind of, oh, door's shut, apologies. 3 lots of different kind of colour ranges I'm going to use right now to start the background. And what I'll do is I'll do a few areas in the blue, do a few areas in the turquoise, and then a few areas in the green, and then see how it goes. So let's start with the blue ones first. Let's move the pencils to the side. So I'm going to go with the darkest colour first. Now looking at here, you can see already Rita's give us sort of some indications here with the little dark bits where to start. You know, some of the shading will be the darker ones. So I'm just going to start in maybe this top corner over here, and I'm going to go from dark to light. So just start with the darkest blue. Go to the next one, and I'm going over the top of them very, very lightly. And the blues are going to sort of radiate out from that darkest colour. That makes sense. Take that, the dark, I'm just going over the darkest one then. Get a bit more dark there. And go for this one. This is number 1103. Sorry, I should be saying the numbers, shouldn't I? I do apologise. I'm 1103 here. I'm sort of, because I've just randomly picked them from the box, I'm sort of feeling my way as to whether I like these particular blues together or not. I don't really normally use Prismas. I'm more polychromo girl, but I've had a couple of people ask me to do it with the Prismas. Prismas get a lot of breakage there. So that's why I'm doing some more with the Prismas. So I'm sort of feeling my way as to do I like this colour combos. I think this one's going to be too light. Right, okay. Yeah. I'm pressing down quite firmly, but that's right. That one's a bit too light. So I'm gonna go, I'm picking another one instead. I'll try this one instead. This is number 904. So with these, so what you got to remember is that these are going to be blending as well into the greens and the turquoises. Okay, that's all right. Okay, now, so I've done one spot there, so that's not blended brilliantly. I'll blend that in more. That's a bit better. Go with that darker blue again. Okay, so let's go. Because we've done a bit of blue here, we could go some blue here, but I'm actually going to leave that. I'm not overly happy with the blues I have picked, so I might. We'll leave it there. Right then, so we've got a blue there. Let's do maybe another blue bit over here. So what I'm doing now, I'm just going to do a few bits of blue just randomly all over the page. I'll do one more blue bit here. So go in with the dark blue. With this one, you haven't got to go from a point at all. I mean, this picture kind of lends itself to the darker colours starting at the point where the leaves meet, but you don't have to do that. You can start right in the middle. I often just start a dark circle somewhere. I'll probably do one of those kind of over here. So it hasn't always got to start where you know, some leaves sort of match. Doesn't have to be like that. Right, now with the middle blue. Just a little shade lighter. This is number 103. And then 904. Blend in there, just smooth the two lines over there. I always find with Prismas I have to sort of layer a lot more. That 904 is no good. Let's try 1024. A little bit more colour I'm looking for. So the fact I didn't have the blend, what I could have done is worked it out on a bit of paper first. I just wanted to colour just as I normally would colour, and I really don't plan that far out. That blue's more like the blue I'm looking for. So this is number 1024. Yeah, this is what I would do. I would just kind of keep using different ones till I find a little combo I like, and then the combos that I haven't actually, you know, the areas where I haven't used that combination, sort of go over them, or yeah, just leave them as is. It doesn't matter. It's kind of creating it as you go along. I've always been like that. I'm not one to follow prescribed things, which is good and bad, I suppose, because sometimes I can, you know, it doesn't work out. But then sometimes I end up making happy mistakes and get some really nice colour combinations that, you know, I wouldn't have otherwise tried or had. So anyway, so it's taking that light blue out. Just taking out a bit because that's obviously going to meet another colour at some point, and I can come back for that. So at least I've now got a kind of a combination that I'm fairly happy with. I just like that dark blue to be a little bit darker even. So this is Indigo Blue 901. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I think I'm out. So Indigo Blue at the start. I like that one. What one colour did I say? It was 904. 904 at the end. The midpoint can be that one, and then that one, I think. Let's try that. Hopefully this blue. Right, so now I'm going to go to, hopefully this combination will be a win I've got now. I'm going to go somewhere else. So I'm going to go under the giraffe's chin here. It's another, oh, that's a better dark blue. So I'm hoping this is the final combo that I've decided on now. So this is 901 Indigo Blue. Followed by 1101, which is Blue Denim. Followed by a 103, which is, I can't even read it, something blue. Can't even read it. And then the last one we're going in with 904, which is light cerulean blue. And on the edge with the medium blue, I'm going to press quite firm so it picks up some of that pigment. So I'm pressing quite firm on the edge, and then once that blend has happened, as I go a bit further out, I'm going a bit lighter. And I'll be pressing, taking it right out and going lighter and lighter, because that's going to blend with a different colour at some point. Okay. Right then, so we've got a bit of blue there, a bit of blue there, maybe. So I'll try and even the blues out. So maybe they're there, and this bottom corner hasn't really got anything. So let's do some blue here. And 1011. Number 103. I'm just going to very carefully I'll use the lighter blue a little bit more, and now number 904, sorry. So I'll just take that up along the edge where it's meeting that orchid blue. I'm pressing quite firm so I can get it to blend, and then as I go out a bit, press it a bit less. I'm just going to stop like at the edge of the leaves, and that is a natural place to stop, just in that corner there. So I'm just going to stop there. Maybe with this same with this one here, and we'll see what happens when I put all the other colours on, so I'm not quite sure yet how we're going to make it all join up, but we will work that out. We will work that out. Okay, that's the blues. Now I might do another little blue, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to now do the turquoise ones in a few places. So I'm hoping these turquoise combinations, because they look like more a smoother transition. So I've got the darkest one is 105, followed by 905, followed by 992, followed by 920. Those. So let's go in with the darkest one. So I'm going to with this one. I want to go. So I've got the blue here. I've got 3 basic blues, turquoises, and yellows. So I want to do a turquoise along this area here, bringing it all the way down. I think. Yeah, I'll do that. So if I start quite dark at the top. And I'll go the next one down. Just going over that darker colour to blend it. Next one down. You have to kind of work out what's background and what's leaf. Sometimes I get that wrong. If you do ever get that wrong and you end up like, say I've, coloured in the leaf, you can get a rubber and sort of rub it out lighter, and just make sure that when you do end up colouring that leaf and you do it with a slightly darker colour and you fix it. I'm just going to go back over with the darker one over where that's blending, just to smooth out the blend a little bit. I really don't find Prismas. I find polychromos for me easier to blend than Prismas. Perhaps it's because I'm used to colouring in polychromos. I expect Prismas to blend the same, and they don't quite. So this is the lighter colour now. Now this being the lighter one will be the one that will blend. So with the other colours, so the lightest green will go over the blue with the blues, if you know what I mean, like that. So I'm going to bring this out quite far. All the way to the end of the leaf. There we go. And now I'll go back with the slightly lighter one there and just try and bring that round a bit so it's not such a straight line for a blend. Let's smooth it out a little bit. Okay, it's quite a dark one, but yeah, I don't mind that at all. We could do an even lighter. The lighter one. Let's just see what this is. So this is Pale Sage 1089. Wonder if this will work. Oh no, that's a bit too. No, forget that. That's not going to work. That's too different. I'll leave it like that for now. Leave it like that for now. We'll come back. Okay, so I've got a bit, I like the turquoisey transition to the light anyway. So I'm going to leave the greeny yellow ones there. So let's try maybe behind his ear. Let's do a little one. Now this one, I'm going to make more like it's a circle. So I'm going to draw like a little half circle there. Look at those eyelashes. And colouring that little half circle. I don't want a set line, so I'm just going to smooth that line out. I just wanted to get the shape. Right, now I'm going to go with the medium turquoise. So I'm just going to go in like a semicircle out from there and go over the line where the dark colour was. Try and smooth that blend out. And then go over the edge there to fuzzy that edge up. Then I'll go for the next one. And do the same thing. Go out. Fuzzy that edge up. Just do over the edge. Go really lightly over that edge. Then go for the lightest one, the 920. Do exactly the same thing. Follow the edge and then go over the edge. I'm just going to go back to the darker blue one there, blue, turquoise. I think it needs a little bit more of that colour there. There we go. And then just take this out very lightly for whenever, I'm not quite sure yet, but that colour will blend with some of the colour. So there we go. So that, I'm very happy with that. That's more like what I want for the different pieces. So we've got a bit here, so I'm going to want a bit over this side now. So I think I'll go here where there's a natural dark bit. So I'm going to do just the same process here. I'll just do one more of these. We'll do the green one as well. And hopefully when you've done those, it's then a case of just applying them, because you'll have the colours and the techniques, and then it's just a case of going around and applying it. So I'll pause the video and sort of finish it off. So go out. I'm actually sort of doing circular motions as well rather than straight lines. I don't know if it actually really makes a difference as such. And I am pressing quite firm. I'm quite a heavy-handed colourist. Like I tend to have firm. Right, with this one, I think I'm going to pretend that that dark orb is actually right behind the leaf. Oh. So if that was the case, that means this would be coming all the way around. So if you imagine that that ball's there, so it's going to be, and you kind of imagine a bigger circle, it's going to be coming all the way around here. And up here as well. Yep. Probably stop about there, and it would also be covering up this part too, I think. So when I'm doing this, I'm sort of imagining, right, that's the centre. I'm drawing circles out. Where would that colour go? And you can see it's sort of the pretend kind of circular would be here, kind of go around to there. Does that make sense? and then colour that round. You could even like draw a pencil circle, I suppose, and then, no, you couldn't because then you went over the colour, you'd see the line coming through. Anyway, go now for the lighter one, do the same thing. And go out a bit further. Don't worry too much, like say this black bit going over it, let it fade, because you know with the fine liners, when we go over fine liners, that will make that pop again, so you haven't got to worry too much about that. I'm going to press hard on this bit here where I want it to blend. I'm going to get the turquoisey one and bring it out a bit more as well. That's better. Dark colour will always tend to show on top of a lighter one more. You just have to give it a bit of experiment as to how much you, like with the layers, which one you go over. So if you do dark first, then light, and then pop over with another bit of dark, it tends to work. Okay. So if we look how far that light green has gone out now, it's gone out quite far. I'm going to take it over this back part here. And then, so if it went there, it would definitely kind of bring it up, because it would go round. I'm not going to take it over into this area, but if it carried on here, it would definitely cover the top bit of there, and then a little bit of there. I'll do those. And then just very lightly take that up, because that's going to fade out into another colour, which I don't know yet what that would be. I've decided. Okay, cool. I'm not going to do this part of the I'll leave that for another colour. Okay, so that's one, two, three. Then I might do one other little bit down here maybe, and then we'll do the greens. Let's just do one more. So again, can have it kind of going outwards. I'll do in between there, but I'm not going to go that side. I might do that a different colour and take the lightest one, really press on the edge there. Come behind those leaves there, a little bit there. That will do, just go fade out a little bit. Right, that'll do for that at the moment. These edges are going to look very kind of like strange, like they just suddenly stop. We will blend them, but don't take them too far out when you haven't decided like where the colours are going to go or what colours are going to end up on there. So now we're going to go in with the greens. Now the greens I've randomly picked are 912, oops, what's that one? 913, 989 and 1004. So let's see if these work or not. So let's start with the darker one. So I've got a blue and a turquoise there, so we might as well do a green either here or here. Let's do it here on this side. Let's start with the darkest one. So I've gone with quite a lighter green because I'm doing a background, so I wouldn't want to go in with well, I might, but for this particular picture I don't want to go in with sort of, you know, dark deep emeralds or deep minty greens. You know, I've kept it quite light. So that's a nice colour. What's that? That's apple green. I like that. 912 apple green. And now we're going to use the 913. Yep, so they work quite well together. It's a bit lighter. Now we're going to go into the really light 989 chartreuse. This is kind of hinty yellow. I'm going to have to go over the light green quite a lot with this one because there's quite a big colour difference there. I'm going to go back to that lighter green, go over the top as well, just try and blend them in a little better. And then go back to the apple green, the darkest one at the start, and just take that out a little bit more as well. Maybe blend that one a little bit. Okay, and then we're on the last one, which is the yellow, whatever, chartreuse, whatever it's called. And these are really pretty bright. Now this one, so I'm going to blend this one into the green at the edge. Now see here, we've got some pigment on the paper there, so I'm just going to try and scratch it off if I can. Never mind. And then I'm doing small circles now, so the firm to mix with the green, which it's gone, it's the same kind of colour, so it's gone. And then as I go out, because I'm also going to hit the turquoise now, I'm going really, really light. And then I'm going to get the turquoise and we'll try and blend those two together a little bit better. I'm just going to go back to the very lightest one of the turquoise, number 920. And from the very top there, just very lightly go over that. So just like I went over the edge of the turquoise with the yellow, I'm now going over the edge of the yellow with the turquoise. To blend that in a bit better. There we go. You just want a smooth transition. It's still a transition of colour, which is okay. So it's obviously going to be different, but I'll leave that for now. Obviously, all this, you know, it's going to blend in when we know what colours there are. So that's the green. So let's do green over. So I've got a green there on that side. I'm going to want a green at the top, green on the side, and green on the bottom. So while I'm here, let's do a nice bit of green in this bottom section. And looking at that top, it gets quite yellowy quite quickly, so I'm actually going to do quite a bit of green in this bottom bit first to balance out the amount of yellow it goes so quick. And go to the lighter green. Slash at the edge. Go to this kind of yellowy green now. I'll try and blend that in. Go up to the leaves. And then go to the lightest one, the yellowy, the really yellowy one. Just take it out a little further. I'll leave that there now because I'm not going to worry about where they touch yet too much unless it happens naturally. And I'm not sure what I'm doing with the blue there. Okay, so we have a green there, a green there. I'm going to want a green over here and a green up the top, maybe 2 greens. So the green over here, there's a natural one here that you could do. But what I'm going to do another one around the giraffe's head. So you haven't always got, so a lot of the ones we've done here, we've done the darkest colour where a point meets, but you haven't always got to do that. If you've got like a straighter line, what you can do is just pretend, just like we did, like there was an orb here, pretend there's like an orb behind the giraffe's head, and just start with your darkest colour, just draw a little sort of semicircle, and that's the orb. So I've got my orb, and now I'm colouring that quite firmly in, and then I'm going to go around the edge of that just to soften the edge. Ready for the next colour. Then I'll go for the next colour, the lighter green. I'm going to take that out each side along the giraffe's face, along that line, and then just make that semicircle a bit larger, softening the edge. Go back to the dark green, make that blend a bit better, go over that edge. And go for the lighter one, the one that starts to go a bit yellow. And follow that circle around. Back to the green, and just go over the edge where they join. Then get the lightish yellow one, and I'm applying really lightly here. I'll do a few layers and just take it lightly. And that will obviously blend in with something, we don't know what yet, but eventually it'll meet. Now looking at that, let's give it a little bit more green tinge. There's a little bit too much yellow there. A bit further out. You basically just keep playing until you get the effect that you're looking for. Actually, I'll go for the green, yellow green. That will eventually blend it in to something larger, like another colour around there. Okay, so that's what you do. So we've got a green, green, green. Maybe do a yeah. So looking at this now, I'll definitely do a green here. Maybe a green here, a bit of turquoise here. The thing I'm not happy about is the lightest blue. I still haven't found a lighter. What's this one? 1087 powder blue. Let's see what powder blue is. So I need to have something that's going to bring this. Oh, that's not too bad. This blue out a little bit more. So it's going to be hard. You need something. When the two colours kind of interact, you want the colour that's going to be blending quite light. That's not too bad, I suppose. So that they match or blend easier with the sort of the lightness. Let's try it up here. So this is 1087 I'm using at the top here, this powder blue. And very light there, and then go in a little yellow there. And back down the blue. Yeah, that's alright. And the blue with the turquoise there. They go pretty well. Okay. So what I will do now is I'm going to leave that there. So I've shown you the corners, and I'll take a screenshot at the very end with the finished background. They are the only colours that I will use. Just doing small orbs and freestanding orbs, and you'll see them. So you should be able to produce the same effect. It'll be doing exactly what I've just shown you on those bits, just by following the picture. Okay, thanks. So this is the finished background that I've done a time lapse for, so hopefully you can work it out. So only the pencils I've already given you, and exactly the same techniques, just when you're blending from, you know, the greens to the turquoise to the blue, just go really light. There we go. So that's the end effect in the daylight. So yeah, get your back down.